Good morning, beautiful people. What a joy it is to be together again. And I'm very, very happy to have the wonderful Nathan as well be our musician for the day and introduce us on this brand new Sunday. Welcome, Nathan.
Good morning, everybody present and online. We're going to start with a song we used to sing pretty regularly
this morning. The making of a soul, the making of a soul. I'm busy with the making of a soul. I've come as a magician, an ordinary man, to make a contribution and be part of the plan. There is no destination, the journey is the goal. I'm busy with the making of a soul. Whoa, whoa, busy with the making of a soul. Part of me's an artist, part of me's a fool. I have no map to guide me, there is no book of rules. The only thing that's certain is joy will lead me home. I'm busy with the making of a soul. Whoa, whoa, busy with the making of a soul. Sing with me. The making of a soul, the making of a soul. I'm busy with the making of a soul. Lurking in my shadow are things I must reclaim. I'll hold them up into the light and give each one a name. 'Cause everyone's a mirror that helps to make me whole. I'm busy with the making of a soul. Whoa, whoa, busy with the making of a soul. Let's sing again. The making of a soul, the making of a soul. I'm busy with the making of a soul. I'm part of God unfolding, I trust and fully give. All that really matters is that while I live, I live. My gifts are what is needed, the universe is home. I'm busy with the making of a soul. Whoa, whoa, busy with the making of a soul. Let's sing. The making of a soul, the making of a soul. I'm busy with the making of a soul. Last time. The making of a soul, the making of a soul. I'm busy with the making, big finish here, of a soul.
Thank you, Nathan. As always, that was wonderful. So what are you doing these days?
I'm making music all over the place.
Oh, and
Yep.
where's that?
Oh, gee. With many local bands, I'm still serving many churches, both virtually and in person. And I'm also still doing my morning musings every Wednesday morning at 9. You can find me on Facebook Live with a new channel. So yeah, lots and lots of music.
Well, thank you. It's a joy to have you back. Thank you so much for being with us.
My pleasure.
Good morning, beautiful people. Hello, live. I love you. Yay. It's wonderful to see you all with us again today. Thank you. And all you Zoomers, I'm so glad that you're with us today as well. My name is Jill Ingalls, and I am a licensed practitioner for the Center of Spiritual Living, White Rock. As we begin our gathering today, I want to acknowledge that as settlers on this land, we are honored to live and operate on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territory of the Coast Salish First Nations. What a privilege this is. What an honor it is to be on these people's lands. Thank you. Thank you. So let's gather our minds and our thoughts together for a moment today and just settle in to this precious moment and breathe in the living spirit that is ever present as I welcome this day, welcome this community, in recognizing that there is one source, one divine energy that is ever present. It is right here, right now, in each and every one of us. Take a breath. Take a breath of this beautiful divine energy and know that each of you are individualized expressions of joy, of love, of harmony, of balance, of peace, of all good, all that is good. And today I welcome this day with an open heart, this beautiful community to share, to learn, to grow, to be in community together. What a beautiful, beautiful experience this is. And as we learn to grow and share, this ripples out into outside these walls and into the world. Thank you for this. And I am so grateful for knowing this truth, living this truth, being this truth, each and every one of us as we move forward in this day and celebrate it and say yes, yes, yes. So I let it be and let it go, and so it is. So it is. So what's up next? Here we go. It is gone blank, but I think it has something to do with what's it all about here? What are we doing here at CSL White Rock, and what do we believe in? There is one source, one divine, infinite source that is back behind everything that is. It is the very livingness that is in each and every one of us. And we are spirit having a human experience. Ooh, that's pretty rich. Yes. And we're here walking each other home. And what else is there? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Nothing outside us needs to change in order for us to be happy. Well, that's pretty rich. That's very rich. Our vision of CSL White Rock is a loving, vibrant world that works for all. So welcome for being with us here today. And for the Zoomers, thank you for being with us as well. It's a joy to have you. I would like to offer a warm welcome to any first-time guests. Any any first-time guests, hello. It's wonderful to have you. And Zoomers out there, hello, and Zoomers out there. If you're new, just put your name and address, a telephone number, credit card number in, and we'll be sure to get in touch with you.
Sometimes I ignore my own gut feeling and stay with what I know. Other times I'm aware of all that's happening. I can let my spirit flow. And each time I wonder what time's supposed to bring, I try to remind myself of one God-given thing, that it is all as it was meant to be, as it was meant by God to be. Yes, it is all as it was meant to be, as it was always meant to be. My life can be so messy, I admit. There are days when I haven't got a clue. But that's life. That's reality, I know it. That's what it means to be me and you. So each time I wonder what I'm supposed to do, I try to remind myself of what I always knew, that it is all as it was meant to be, as it was meant by God to be. Yes, it is all as it was meant to be, as it was meant by God to be. So no regrets, no looking back, no wondering whether there's a plan. No regrets, no questioning who we are. We all do the best we can. I love, even when complications surface, even when love is not returned. For I know that love's the only answer for every soul who's ever yearned. So each time I wonder if right still conquers all, I think of all that I have done and find myself still standing tall. 'Cause it is all as it was meant to be, as it was meant by God to be. Yes, it is all as it was meant to be, as it was always meant to be, as it was meant to be, as it was meant by God to be. Yes, it is all as it was meant to be, as it was always meant to be.
Beautiful, Nathan. Thank you. As usual, it's so fabulous to have you here and in person and on Zoom and everywhere around. Lots of Nathan everywhere. Well, thank you, everyone. And I just want to appreciate everybody coming today. I know it's still out there a little challenging times, and so it means a lot to our community, growing us the way that we are. And we wouldn't be here if it wasn't part of our volunteers. Alan, the work that you did, there's lots of happening people on Zoom going on in this room because Alan got here at 9 o'clock this morning and set us up, and Nathan came early, and we've got Janet, our board president. We've got Angela on the board. We've got everybody here showing up and helping. So if you want to be part of that, we have room for you to volunteer. Definitely, just if you're interested in helping us out, email our Nancy at admin@csl-whiterock.com. And it's great to be part of this community because that is what we're here for. We are here to practice spirituality in a safe environment. As we are the teachings of science of mind, what we believe is in unity, the oneness of all things. Ernest Holmes says, we believe in the individualized of the spirit in us
and that all people are individualization. Oh, that's a wrong word. But anyways, you guys know what I mean, of the one spirit. And we believe in the internality, the immortality, and the continuing needed, oh my goodness, I'm not going to read this anymore, of the individual soul forever and ever expanding. But we have a whole tenet of what we believe here at Science of Mind. And Jill so eloquently dialed it down into 4 main tenets that we have. And it is that we're here walking each other home, that we are here as humans having this experience, as our spirits having this human experience. And today, that's really what I'm talking about, is as humans here, as spirit having this human experience. The title of my talk today is Failing Forward. And I looked at that, I know, I was like, whoa, let me read that again. I thought it was falling forward. Nope, I read it again, failing forward. And so it got me thinking, about failure and forward. So of course, I went to Science of Mind magazine. I went to Ernest Holmes' different books. And as always, I went to Brene Brown because she is the master because when we think of failure, I mean, we probably all can think of a moment in our life where we had an experience that we maybe deemed as a failure, that maybe other people deemed as a failure.
Just one?
Just one, maybe. I just said just one. We may have more. So the thing is with failure, it is there to know that we can be better and we can be blessed with those failures. I know of a friend who, started a business and it went sideways on him. I know of another one who took a job and it went sideways. I can even think of myself about different times in my life where I thought I was moving this way and I fell down flat and moved another way. And it worked out for the better. It worked out for the better. But I didn't know that. And at the time, I was like, why is this happening to me? Why am I going through this experience? How can this too be good, divine? How can this be good? How can I watch this sick person go through and I'm not able to help? And there's those times when I question my faith. And I think I've failed. And yet there's another door. There's always another door to go through. The affirmation for today was, I persevere. I persevere. And I think that is so true. As humans, we have that resilience. We have that way that we can bounce back. And we may take what I like to call, I don't like to call things mistakes. I like to call them missteps. Because we sometimes fall down but we get back up. We get back up. And as human beings, that's what we do. And that is that divine inside of us, that divine urge that is bringing us forward to what is next, what is better. So redirection, better, blessed. We all experience successes, failures in life. And just as that teaches us lessons not to allow success to go to one's head, but it's also wise not to allow failures to consume us. Because I know I can wallow in that, where I maybe had a conversation with somebody and I'm like, why did I say that? And I'll carry that around in my head. You don't know how long I carry that around in my head. My husband will tell you it's been 20 years or so. Is I can still remember a moment. Remember when? But it's not getting caught in that. And the thing with it, better and blessed with failure, and what Brene talks about is then it can bring shame. And nobody likes to talk about that. I know I don't like to talk about the shame of when I've had fallen down and not done my best. That's not a story I like to share that easily. And yet that is the story that may help somebody else, That is the story that may make somebody else who's going through a hard time feel better. So what is it about shame that we have that just gets us to turn so inwards and not outwards, and know that we can reach out? So the truth about failure, that does not mean one idea was flawed, not valid, and the dream isn't good enough. Failure means there's something to be learned or gained, or a course correction may be necessary. In short, failure points to the possibility that there's always something more, better, and blessed ahead. So then the second thought I had about this topic was about opportunity. So failure is opening again, as I said earlier, that door, that opportunity of what I can do differently. What can I do next? How do I show up again? How do I dust myself off, wrinkle free, and move forward in life? So one way to get to know the parts and pieces of failure, allow each part of that failure to teach me how to make our next shot quicker, easier, and surer. Failure is not fatal. No matter how hard it may feel, stay willing to understand that failure may simply mean there's an opportunity just over the horizon. Take the opportunity to wonder about what could it be and allow it to be so. Allow it to be so. Last week, I talked about that divine urge. Again, sometimes, well, I know when I get quiet and I take that moment to turn inwards and listen, that is when I get my biggest nuggets. That is when I get my biggest, oh, that was what that was for. That is what that meant. So Brene Brown says about, because too, when we go into failure, her other big thing besides shame she talks about is perfectionism. Mm-hmm. So it may seem counterintuitive, but one of the biggest barriers to working towards mastery is perfectionism. In our leadership research, we learned that achieving mastery requires curiosity and viewing mistakes and failures as opportunities for learning. Perfectionism kills curiosity by telling us that we have to know everything, or we risk looking less than. Perfectionism tells us that our mistakes and failures are personal defects. So we either avoid trying new things, or we barely recover every time we inevitably fall short. I was watching some TED Talks in regards to this. I just, typed in YouTube failing forward. And there's a book actually by John Maxwell who talks about this story. But what caught my eye was this one doctor. And she was talking about scientists and doctors, how they build in. They know that there's a percentage of the time they unfortunately are going to fail. And she shared a story of the first patient she lost and how devastated she was and how she thought that she would never recover from that, what she perceived as a failure. And yet she had a mentor who called her and said, "How are you feeling?" And she just sobbed. She said she sobbed and she sobbed, and he sobbed along with her. He goes, "I'm there with you. I've been in your shoes. I know how you feel." And then he gave her some feedback on how to process that and how to work through it. Because in another book we're reading, our leadership, it's called The 15 Commitments to Conscious Leadership. It tells us to feel all the feels. And sometimes that doesn't seem like a good idea. If I'm feeling bad, why do I want to keep feeling bad? Why do I want to feel that? I just want to push it away. But guess what happens? It rears its lovely head again and it shows up in a pattern in my life. And if I don't deal with it, if I don't feel it, and I don't do my own personal spiritual work around it, it just keeps coming back and shows up again. But what I loved about that story that she talked about was a few fast forward 10, 15 years later, her son, she was in the operating room and her son called her and he said, "Mom, you got to pick me up right now." And she's like, why, honey? You're at a basketball game. You'll get on the bus with everybody. He goes, Mom, I can't get on the bus. He said, I got fouled in the last minute of the game. I got up to do the free throws. If basketball, I guess you get a point per free throw. So he could have won the game. He goes, I missed both of those baskets. He goes, every time I look at everybody else on my team and my coach, I just see the disappointment in their eyes. He said, I can't get on that bus, Mom. I can't do it. And she said, honey, you can get on that bus. You can do this. She goes, I know how you feel. And she said, every ounce of her, and it makes me think of my own children. You want to rush in and save them. You want to help them. But this was a time that he had to step into his own power and get on that bus. And it worked out okay. He was fine, and she walked him through it, and he was able to feel better about it. As I think sometimes we do a disservice to our children to not get them to walk through those moments to make something a little different. And I know it's hard, and I can imagine, I'm sure each of you can imagine a time where you've had to walk through that door when you didn't want to. And maybe it was to say sorry to somebody. Maybe it was to, I don't know what it was, or face something that you knew that maybe it just wasn't the right thing for you at the time. But that's okay, because we are spirit having this human experience. We can dust ourselves off and stand up. And it got me thinking about my son, and my kids were in lots of sports. And it was, my husband used to say, oh my goodness, it drives him crazy how every kid now gets a ribbon. He goes, how do they learn disappointment? How are we helping them if it's always this bigger, better thing? And so this talk, I was thinking, maybe he had a point. Because I know I was always wanting to give my son or my daughter a ribbon, but it's knowing that it's okay, that sometimes we fall and we can get back up. So that's the third piece I want to talk about, resilience. Resilience. Sometimes the lesson of failure is not to make success certain, but to show us how to fail. And there are ways to fail with grace, sincerity, and possibility. A single instance of failure can teach more than a lifetime of success. And what this whole year has been about is wonder. So wonder is that thing. You can wonder, what is this here to teach me? What is that I am learning? There is a hidden element of resilience that accompanies failing. Each failure often offers feedback on how to perfect an idea, task, or project. Like today. Today we showed up, lots of things kind of went wrong, but we're learning as we go. And last Sunday, I wouldn't say it was a failure either. It was everything that we did is moving us forward. It's that divine urge. And we just have to and I really want to emphasize this, is to take the moment when something goes well and pat ourselves on the back. Take that moment to celebrate those wins. Because sometimes in this human body, I don't allow myself that time. I don't allow myself to celebrate and say, hey, that was a really good job. I thought that talk was all right. It's always, I should have said this. I could have done that. I forgot to say this. You go right into that negative self-talk. So I think as humans, it's important to take those moments to appreciate ourselves, to appreciate the things that we go through, and know that it is there to help us. So it's about the willingness to fail forward can make work, life, a beautiful, crazy, and exciting journey. So fail forward, fail, and fail often. Because failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of success, says Arianna Huffington. And Ernest Holmes says, the mind is a magnet, and we attract that which we identify the self. We are bound by nothing except belief. Know that nothing can hinder you but yourself. If you believe you can, you can. Those last 3 quotes were from Ernest Holmes in The Science of Mind. So what do I want to leave you with today? Move away from perfection. Know that we're here having this human experience as spirit, that failures, embracing the failures, share your failures. Don't be afraid to talk to people about when you fail, because they may have an idea or something may happen that you just never thought about. And it's like, oh yeah, I can do that. As we had Nathan here, gave us some tips today, or whatever it is in your life. So I'm going to leave you with a story to stop. It's called There's a Hole in My Sidewalk. It's an autobiography in 5 short chapters. Be ready? Settled in? Okay, here it goes. I walk down the street. There is a deep hole in the sidewalk. I fall in. I'm lost. I'm helpless. It isn't my fault. It takes forever to find a way out. Chapter 2. I walk down the same street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I pretend I don't see it. And guess what? I fall in again. I can't believe I'm in this same place. But guess what? It's not my fault. It still takes me a really long time to get out. Chapter 3. I walk down that same street. There is a deep hole in the sidewalk. I see it there. But guess what? I still fall in because it's habit. But my eyes are open and I know where I am. It is my own fault. I get out immediately. Chapter 4. I walk down that same street. There is a deep hole in the sidewalk. I walk around it. Chapter 5. I just walk down another street. Thank you. So let's take this moment to close in prayer. Knowing that there is one life, one love, one universal divine mind. And that mind is operating right here, right now, in and as and through each of us. People in this room, the people on Zoom, out to a larger community. Knowing that we have everything that we need to be happy right here, right now. Today, I choose and I claim joy, beauty, love, success, abundance. Whatever it is for you, claim it in your mind right here, right now. So knowing this truth that it is all endless, unlimited possibility. That as I take a step forward, I may fail, I may fall down, but I know I am resilient. I am love expressed in this world, and I move through it. So knowing that I am this, I know that each of you are love expressed in this world as well. And this world needs you. So shine. Take this moment and shine through your failures, through your successes, through life. So today I express deep gratitude for this teaching, for knowing of this truth, of this time together. And I release these words, the law of mind, in right action. And I'd like to say, and ask you to join me in saying, and so it is.
That was a wonderful success, Tamara. Thank you very much. And the screen in front of me is blank, and my screen is blank. And so let us go into this beautiful time again of gratitude. How does your heart feel? The beautiful law of circulation is what we put in, we get back tenfold. So in this time of gratitude, I just want to say how grateful I am for this community and the teaching. It's so rich. the talk today, I can take that with me. It grows me. It enriches me. It feeds me. Each one of your faces on Zoom and right here, I know you're there even when we're not together. The support, the love. This is what I'm grateful for. This is what I donate for, is this community and its teachings. This is what it means to me. So join me if you wish in this moment and say thank you. Thank you for this beautiful, beautiful time together, the teachings, the community, the spiritual laws, the talks, all of it. Thank you. And in gratitude, please join me in supporting CSL White Rock. You can do that by mail, by check, or you can leave it in some amazing basket at the back of the room. We welcome your support, although we are infinitely and always supported. Blessings, blessings to each and every one of you, and so it is.